what I'm talking about, that I'm talking about one political unity, not just one territory. Sorry, is that what I mean? Can I say that this terminology of one ummah is one political person, not one? No, brother. See, it is surely one territory and one political unity. Okay, it's definitely one territory and one political unity for entire ummah. Um, Obviously, as I mentioned a while earlier, that yes, the leaders of the Muslim world do not want this. That's why they continue to suppress the people who call for unity, because this would definitely mean that all those leaders have to go. Only one leader will be appointed for all the people in the Muslim world. So definitely, yes. Obviously, the one of the reason why Hizb has been harshly treated by the rulers in the Muslim world is definitely this. We want the Muslims to live as one ummah and under one, as one territory and one political entity. Surely, for the sake of administration, we can. I mean, that goes the structure of an Islamic state. For the sake of administration, surely the Khalifa can appoint walis. They're called governors for certain parts. But again, those parts are not permanent. Sometimes a wali can be given a bigger area. Sometimes a wali can be given a smaller area. So this is nothing like permanent as well. That is just a way how the Khalifa wants to administer the Islamic State. I think I understood the question correctly. If I understood the way it is, that's what my answer was. Sorry, brother. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, brother. This is a response from Brother Riza and Brother Abdul.
Hang on, brother.
You can read this question from Brother Abdul.
Okay. The brother asked, I mean, it's funny because you reject democratization of the world, but you want to Islamicize the whole world. Um, Brother, it's a simple thing. We as Muslims uh, believe in Islam completely. We believe that Islam is a complete way of life. I don't know what you understand by democracy, but by democracy, what I understand, or what we mean by democracy is a system which is given to which in which the laws are made by humans, and humans have the power to legislate. This is something we reject completely, because as Muslims we must believe that sovereignty only belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and humans are here to run his laws. So obviously, as a Muslim, I put Islam as an alternative for the world. It is better, and on the second hand, I mean, on the other hand, I am not saying this merely for the sake of saying. History is the testimony to the Islamic history, where people have lived their most glorious times. In our history books, we have read about Dark Ages. So it was the time when the Dark Ages was in Europe. So I can say that when people in Europe lived in the caves, people in the Muslim world flourished in technology, in the field of medicine, in the field of science. Apart from all that, it was a mercy to the mankind. Today, under democracies, we do not see that really everything is ideal, because the laws that are made are left at the whims and desires of the humans. So obviously, the ruling elite will make the laws that suits them, will alter the laws that suits them. Hence, we see people in democracy wants. I mean, they can spend millions of dollars to get a seat in the parliament, because they know once they get the seat, they will recover all that money. So the spending of the money in the elections in democracy is really an investment that they will get back once they get the power. Whereas in the Islamic State, it is not the case. I mean, you don't have the Khalif who would be driving, or would be going around in BMWs and Mercedes Benz or Rolls Royce and things, or living in a lavish, living a lavish life. No, this is not the case. That is the money of the Ummah. He would be accountable for everything that he has spent. So, very honestly, yes, we have been clear about it that yes, we reject the democratization of the world, because democracy is a system which is made by man. Democracy is a system which is not which is not what how do I say, which does not deserve to be the ruling system according to us. It's only Islam that deserves to be the ruling system. And obviously, me as Muslim, or we as Muslims should always provide the Islam as an alternative to the world. Now, I would also take this question on a second angle. If by democratization you mean the people having the right to choose the leader, brother, um, I know some Muslims do have this idea that democracy means the people choosing the leaders, and the decisions are made by the consultations. To be very honest, this is not democracy means. The political scientists of the West do not define democracy like this. When they say democracy, all they mean is sovereignty belongs to man. And if you are talking about choosing your leader, and the decisions made by consultation, that will happen definitely even in the Islamic State. People will appoint the Khalif, and definitely the decisions that are made, which are in the Mubah matters or in the matters of Ijtihad, will be made by the consultation of the Shura, definitely. Um, I have another question here from
Okay.
brother.
Yes, yes. Yes, from
Uh,
Rizal.
yeah, if I may ask again, one said that actually there is no difference between the structure of the Khilafah and the nation state. For example, both structures have ministries and the leaders. So, what are the differences except its system, capitalism versus Islamic law? Brother, there is. I think there is there is definitely more to it. Obviously, see, when we look at any things or any ideologies or any things, any alternate systems, obviously we will have some crossovers. We will have some things that are similar. For example, democracy have a way to appoint the leader. Islam has a way to appoint the leader. So there will be crossovers always. Everywhere there will be crossovers, right? The simple thing that I would say, the difference between the Khilafah state and the nation state, in the nation state, it is a state with closed borders. Remember this, it's a state with closed borders. The Khilafah is not a state with closed borders. Nation state has permanent borders, but the Khilafah will not have a permanent border, because it will eventually engulf the entire world by economic, military, whatever. I mean, through jihad and everything. It will engulf the entire world one day, and we believe in this because of the hadith that came from Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. In one of the hadith, he said that Islam will reach where night has reached, and he said that every home made of mud or clay will enter into Islam either with honor or with disgrace. So we understand this means that the Islam. Islam will engulf the world. That is the thing. So basically, brother, when I say nation state, it is a state where people are completely divided. They are made to believe they are superior because they happen to be born at a certain place. They happen to have certain color on their skins. So in the Khilafah, these will not be the ideas. The people, when in the nation state, you see, you go to America, Australia. Like I live in Australia, you see people here. They say that, oh, look, we live happily, we are good, and we are bad, we are this, we are that, right? But when you ask them, what do you know about people suffering somewhere else? They don't care. In the Khilafah, people will not be like that because of the open borders. Nation state is the closed borders, so people can only think within its borders. When the Khilafah, that will not be the case. So there are many things. In fact, there are a lot of things that can be discussed. And as I said towards the end of my talk, that the Khilafah will not deal with the rest of the world based on its own interest. It will put the interest of humanity and interest of Islam first. Whereas the nation states, when they deal with others, they definitely deal with itself. And as you correctly said, that the system capitalism versus Islam, obviously these things are also the consequence of capitalism. So capitalism and nation state together have given rise, or communism and nation states together will give rise to such concepts. Whereas because of the idea of an Islamic law, Islam does not permit us to think bad about others. Islam does not permit us to oppress others. The Islam does not permit us to oppress the weak, to usurp others' resources. So because of that, it will be a better state, and obviously it will be a state which will be a mercy for mankind. I hope that answers that question, inshallah.
Inshallah, brother. Yeah, inshallah. Uh, okay, okay, brother. This is another response from brother Abdu. You can maybe read from this chat box.
We can't discuss intellectual. Bring this topic to Al Quran. Use your own concept to okay. We can't discuss intellectually if you bring this topic to Al Quran. Use your own concept to define globalization. It's not scientific. Indeed, many scholars define globalization in different way. In the context when one idea is globalized,
Globalize. Yes.
either democracy, khilafa, whatever it is. Um, I think focus. Okay. I'll read the question again. We can't discuss intellectually if you bring this topic to Al Quran. Use your own concept to define globalization. It is not scientific. See, brother, to be honest, first thing I would always say, obviously, I'm not, whenever possible, we always refer back to Quran because Quran is our basis. So we have to always look into Quran, and the belief in the Quran is from an intellectual point of view. We believe in the Quran from a rational perspective. Hence, any discussion based on Quran would be the most intellectual discussion. However, as I said, globalization is a term that is specially given in today's world to to deal with each other, uh, as in it's a globalized world, anyone can do anything anywhere, but still um, we see that has failed. You see, they say people, okay, you can come here, but when you come there, you have to leave your values, to the extent that we see in like in France or in Belgium, even your personal things with to do with Islam, anything to do with Islam is attacked. On one hand, they say globalization. On the other hand, we see your hijab bans. On the other hand, we see attack on halal meats. Why should Muslims be given halal meats? So these things, when people come to Khilafah, it will not tell them to leave your way of life, or to leave your religion. Don't practice your religion and live here as something else. No, I mean, you in Islam, because Islam does not force anyone to do anything, and in Islam, the non-Muslim, under an Islamic state, the non-Muslims will have all the rights as in their individual capacity, and we do not see that in this so-called globalized world today. So in there was a debate in Australia just earlier this week, about the whole notion of giving Sharia laws in Australia. What was asked, I mean, just the Muslims to organize a couple of things, like, for example, the Muslim way of marriage and divorce